clubs.
JC, I want you to start off this topic because
What's it about?
it's about the Chicago Bulls. I think you should know what it's about.
Bulls.
They have been torn apart by this COVID dilemma right
7
now.
guys.
I mean, right now, Alex Caruso's playing power forward in the starting lineup for the Bulls. That's how bad COVID has hit them. Kobe White got it. DeRozan got it. Javonte Green got it. Derrick Jones Jr., Matt Thomas. You guys
Stanley
had
Johnson
to bring
got
on
it.
Stanley Johnson. You guys just brought him on.
Chicago got COVID.
Yeah.
The Bulls have a lot of people out right now currently because they're in league protocols. But when they were all healthy and playing together, this looked like one of the top teams in the East. Currently, they're the second best team in the Eastern Conference at 17-9 at the time of this recording. But what's their ceiling? You know, Drew and Riv, you guys both have said you're picking them to make the Eastern Conference Finals. JC, you told Riv no way in hell they're going to get past Brooklyn.
Not even Brooklyn, Miami, or Milwaukee.
So in your opinion, what's the ceiling for the Bulls, and can they go to the conference championship?
All right, so maybe I was being a little too disrespectful to the Bulls. I mean, obviously, what they've been doing this season is really impressive. As far as them missing all their players, I mean, I think it could affect them in two ways. Maybe in the standings a little bit. You don't have DeMar DeRozan, who's been an MVP candidate. And then another thing, some players have lingering effects because of COVID. I mean, Jason Tatum last year didn't feel the same way. So hopefully that doesn't, mess with any player's health or long-term health. But, I mean, other than that, I think Chicago's a really good team. I like what they're building. I like the addition of Caruso and everything. They have good defenders across the board. I think their ceiling can be in Eastern Conference Finals. I think there could be a world where they might upset. I think they're more susceptible to upset a Brooklyn or a Miami rather than a Milwaukee. Just my opinion. But there is a world where they could get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But my ceiling for them, I mean, where I think they'll be is I think they'll be a competitive second-round team. I think anybody between Milwaukee, Miami, or Brooklyn, whoever plays them, they're gonna be in a dogfight with the Chicago Bulls because they are a very good team, and they are led by statistically the best two-man punch in the NBA. Hopefully, this play transitions into the playoffs for DeMar DeRozan because we know he's had his shortcomings. Hopefully, Zach Lavine can perform great in his first postseason outing. That's gonna happen this year because they are gonna make it. But, I mean, other than that, I don't think this team's going to be any less than a second round team to an Eastern Conference team. I think that's where I have them at right now.
Can they beat the Nets?
I think the Nets beat them in 6 or 7. But that's how I feel about them.
Based off my team, I watched.
And I like using them in 2K.
I've watched almost every single game that we've played. And honestly, the only problem we have is we lack offense sometimes in a half-court set, and we struggle with bigs. Embiid, even Sabonis and Miles Turner, we struggled mightily with bigs. Bam, we struggled with Bam a lot. But I just don't see a world where if we beat a team like Miami, it's considered an upset. I feel like we are on the same level as them. I feel like we match up perfectly with them to an extent, especially from the guards perspective. I think
I agree.
we match up. Well, we have the guards that can defend them, and we have the wings that can. I think Milwaukee probably posed the most because Vucevic can't guard Giannis. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Pat will, if he comes back, he can't. They're just too imposing down low. But I think Brooklyn is a good matchup for us too. I just don't see a world where Miami is this universally so much better than us when I feel like we're a better offensive team than them, and we're probably not good on defense, but we're an elite defensive team ourselves. We have Lonzo, we have Caruso. Zach is giving his effort on defense. Even DeMar, he's giving his effort on defense. Javonte Green is a really good defender. Like Derrick Jones Jr. is a really good defender. So I just like this world where we're not on the same level as Miami. I don't know. I don't really see it. You know what I'm saying?
What about Milwaukee though?
I think Milwaukee is better than us. I think Giannis is the main factor. He just separates them from us because we don't have any bigs. We don't have a backup big either. But I think we're right in that room with Brooklyn and Miami because we can match up with both teams. Honestly, I think, like you said, we do have to see Zach in a playoff environment. But the way he scores, I just feel like it'll kind of like it's gonna shift seamlessly into the offense. And then they don't have anybody really to guard him because Jimmy can't guard everybody. You know what I'm saying? He can't. He's gonna have to check DeMar.
How about
or check
Oladipo coming
Zach.
back?
That's a lot to ask of him.
It is a lot to ask of him, but like you said, new medicine. You
True.
know, this new day in the NBA. I'm not really. Oh, you don't need no more. I'm not really worried. I just feel like Miami, we match. I think our ceiling is the Eastern Conference Final. I think we do have the talent. We have
That's
the personnel.
ceiling?
Yeah, I think our ceiling.
You can't be a championship. You can't go to the championship.
I don't think the first year it would be. I think we have to get that playoff. I think playoff chemistry is important. We have to get that in order. I think our team chemistry in the regular season, I think it's amazing. I think Lonzo, Caruso, Javonte Green has gelled. But I think next year is going to be a little bit better because if Zach comes back, we'll be more in tune. Pat will be back. But I think right now we're definitely an Eastern Conference team, and I think we're right in that room with Brooklyn and Miami.
I feel like the ceiling is going to the finals. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I do think that Milwaukee is the one team I look at genuinely and think that's the number one team to beat. In terms of the Nets, I'm not sold on them defensively come playoff time, and offensively outside of KD. Harden you should be able to rely on, but we've seen what happens to Harden, when the lights shine the brightest. He has great moments for sure.
Oh boy.
But there's some moments that obviously he's not the James Harden that we're accustomed to. And then outside of those two guys, who are we really relying on here? Patty Mills.
Champion.
Maybe, I'm blanking on his name. Joe Harris, It's like these aren't guys that I'm genuinely happy with. Aldridge has been solid this year. We'll see what happens with him if his play continues to be this high, at this point in his career come playoff time. But Miami, it's an interesting team to me because defensively, when they're all healthy, this team is one of the best teams in the NBA for sure. Offensively, they've answered a couple of questions, but now the biggest question is health. You have Jimmy already in and out of the lineup with health issues. You have Bam Adebayo, who just had surgery, and he's probably going to be back most definitely by playoff time. But already we're getting the injury scare, and that's what worries me. I think Bulls ultimately are complete in the sense where they are a good defensive team and have great offense. But that's why I look at Milwaukee, and I just think they're the most complete team because defensively, they've shown it. They could be the best defensive team in the league. And offensively, they have Giannis, who could average 30. They have Middleton, who come playoff time, at least last season, could give you 22 to 25 points. And Drew Holiday is one of the best defenders at the guard position there is in the NBA. So I just look at Milwaukee, and I think they're the best team. But the Bulls are no slouch. I think Lavine is going to be spectacular come playoff time. I just think he has a different type of swagger to him. His confidence is at a different level. I don't think that he could be touched in that sense. I have no worries with him. DeMar doesn't have to worry about LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't know who really can guard DeMar DeRozan in the playoffs on the Nets. I don't think anyone can do it.
They don't have anybody.
I don't think on Miami, they probably do. Jimmy Butler, yes. And on Milwaukee, are you putting Drew Holiday on DeMar DeRozan? I don't think that's a great idea. You'll probably put
Middleton.
You probably put Middleton on DeMar, but then what's going on with Lavine? It's like they have a lot of offensive pieces that could give a lot of team fits. And they have very good team chemistry very early on, and I haven't even mentioned the contributions of Lonzo and Caruso at all. Caruso has been huge for you guys. And Lonzo has been shooting very efficiently from three. He's been one of the best defenders in the league. He deserves a first-team all-defense this year. I just think that I'm looking at the Bulls, and I'm very, very impressed from what I'm seeing. And there is not a team that I can see that they cannot beat in a 7-game series. But they're not my number one team right now.
DeMar DeRozan isn't good in the playoffs. It doesn't matter if he's facing LeBron. He faced the Pacers. He averaged 18 points per game, shot 32% from the field, shot 17% from three. That was in the 2016 playoffs.
Did they win that series?
They did win that series in 7. But DeMar DeRozan...
He got locked up that year. PG locked him.
To be fair, to DeMar's credit, there hasn't been a season in the playoffs, at least, that he's averaged under 20.
Oh, yeah, but his regular season averages, those numbers are all down from his regular season averages.
But I think things are a little bit different now that he has another option next to him that can give
Kyle
equal.
Lowry wasn't that?
He's
not equal, though. He's not of equal.
He's not Zach.
Offense.
He's not. I know he's not Zach, but that's still Kyle Lowry.
But
I understand, but he's not Zach on offense.
Correct.
I was wrong about the Bulls in the sense of they've been a little bit better than I've expected. That's pretty much it. And not even that, like, it's not like they've been better than I've expected. I was just wrong in the sense that they're not as good as the Knicks. Nonetheless, I mean, the Knicks aren't as good as the Bulls. Nonetheless, the Bulls don't frighten anybody. You guys aren't frightening anybody.
What makes you say that?
Am I worried about Vucevic, who's not that good of a defender? If I'm another team, if I'm the Bucks, no, or the Heat, no. I told you DeMar DeRozan doesn't perform in the playoffs. Forget about the Nets. I know you don't trust the Nets defense. Forget about them. Well, what if they face the Bucks? What if Drew Holiday's on DeMar DeRozan?
Oh no, Bucks are a bad matchup for us.
Bucks are scary.
DeMar DeRozan is going to be virtually useless in that series. What about if they face the Heat? If Jimmy Butler or PJ Tucker are guarding him. If PJ Tucker's guarding DeMar DeRozan, he has no chance. Let's just get that clear right now.
Didn't Jimmy just have a shit show last year?
It happens.
Oh, okay.
They need Hero.
That was the
to
first
be what he's
time
been
in
doing.
Butler's career this really happened to him.
They need Hero to continue doing what he's been doing.
I understand, but against Miami, oh yeah, they'll lock down DeMar for sure. The Nets, you're right. The Nets probably won't lock down those players, but I trust Harden and KD over anybody the Bulls got.
That's fair.
Chicago, you guys are going to have a great regular season. You're going to have a disappointing playoffs, kind of like the Knicks last year.
Here we go.
That's what you're going to have. You're going to have a disappointing playoffs. If you get to the second round, I'll applaud you. But depending on that first round matchup,
who can beat us?
Atlanta could scrape you.
Scrape?
Yes.
You're doing it again.
Now he just wants you guys to be the new Knicks.
You're doing it again. You walked in this year. I don't think you're going to be better than the Knicks. We're third seed. The Bulls would be 6. Okay, now you look stupid. 25 games in. Now we're the number 1 seed. I think we're probably 2 right now. We're the number 2 seed in the league. You're at the bottom of the barrel. Now you're saying, all right, I don't think, you know what I'm saying, I was wrong about them being better than the Knicks. But now I don't fear the Bulls. Now you're saying we're not feared. Listen. You got to stop spinning your narratives every 25, 30 games. You keep spinning your narratives.
Let me ask you, Riv.
Talk to me. Scrape? You said scrape,
tell me
though.
who you would
scrape.
take in the playoffs.
All right, go ahead.
Nets or Bulls?
Nets.
Bucks or Bulls?
Really?
Bucks.
Heat or Bucks? Oh, Heat or Bulls?
Bulls.
You're taking the Bulls over
Yes.
the Heat? Okay.
You feel more confident about the Heat than you do the Nets right now.
Yes.
Because of Kevin Durant?
Yes.
The Bulls?
Yes.
The Bulls or the Sixers fully healthy?
Ooh, that'd be a wait, what's fully healthy with Ben?
Let's assume Ben gets traded
are
for
up
a
right
player.
now.
I hate when you do
Without
that.
Jimmy or Bam.
No, tomorrow. There's like
Sixers
8
are a bad
players.
matchup for us.
Yeah, I know.
So I would say Sixers.
You didn't put the
Elbow.
Heat in there.
It's still good enough to win.
Heat, Nets, Bulls,
It's not
Sixers. Those are 4 teams that I think they can
Sixers?
definitively beat you
Wait,
in
say
the
that list
He
again?
said Sixers.
Bulls, Bucks, Nets, Sixers.
Now who can we beat on that list?
None, in my
You're
opinion.
dumb.
In my opinion,
you're dumb.
you can't beat none of them.
He meant 7. I'm sorry.
He said the
said-
Sixers.
No, he said
Sixers.
You think the Heat can beat
He
Heat,
said the
Nets,
Sixers.
Bulls,
the team he
Bucks,
said
excuse
barely
me.
would make the playoffs.
Yeah.
He said the Sixers, the Heat, the Bucks, the Nets. The Nets and the Bucks. That's
And the
fine. You
Hawks?
can have that
You
assessment.
think the Hawks as
I
well?
think the Hawks can. That's an evenly matchup.
You can have that. I don't
matchup.
understand how you can say that's evenly matchup.
It's an even
I don't-
matchup.
How do you say that's evenly matchup? They're not as good as us defensively, and offensively we're better
Then who?
They're
than
better
the
than
Hawks.
you guys.
You're just saying that now it's just straight
So
emotion.
now,
Nah, defensively they're better.
Yeah, it's emotion.